Now, remember we were talk about the using of personality research to coach team member. When I say personality research, remember what I said before, that you can go online as a project manager. You go online, you can just go www, you now write coach. I'm coming. You can go here, can you see all these are tools you can use. Because when you know the personality of your team member, each of the personality, based on their personality, whether they are introvert or extrovert, or somebody who like crowd, somebody who like to work in the group of people, somebody who like to work alone, somebody who can speak up, somebody who, you see, those are personality, whether introvert and extrovert. You will know, you now be able to assign duty based on the personality. And when you are doing that, they say there are some do and don't do. That's where we stopped the other time. Do use the exercise as an icebreaker or team building activity, because that personality personality indicator is like an engine. It will ask you a series of questions. Based on your response, it can tell you whether you are an introvert and introvert. It will tell you the characteristics of an introvert, the kind of job he can do, the kind of thing he hates, the his strong point, the weak point. You understand me? The type of woman you can marry, he can tell you. He said, what are the, when you have not done this one for each of your staff member, your staff will do it, they will now give you the result. He say, do use result as predictor, not absolute. Do always seek permission and explain use, but don't make fixed assumption or judgment based on result, because the person who is doing the, when somebody log on internet and the engine asks a series of questions like a questionnaire, if the person didn't speak the right thing, it will, the outcome of that of the personality test will be based on the kind of response he made to the machine. So don't say don't make the fixed assumption or judgment based on result, except that the person really speak the truth while he's being interviewed by the engine. Don't share anyone personal information without permission. Then you cannot go further. But now see now in the business or the trade of project management, when you are leading your team member, you say it involve a lot of things. Because this thing you are doing, we are learning here, there are things that have been researched, it has been used in other climes. It has been used to manage a lot of projects, and it produce good results. Therefore, that is why if you see this syllabus is quite different from the one you have been doing 3 years ago. All these things are not inculcated into them. But they're now saying that some people have used it, it produces good results, and therefore they now add it to the syllabus. So now, it is your turn. By the time you finish this course, when you want to manage a project, whether a small scale project or big scale project or medium scale project, always remember that all these things will assist you to be able to lead your team member in the most effective and efficient way, so that you can be able to have a highly productive team, a team that can boast productivity, that can help you to achieve your project objective. So use personality research to coach team member based on the results. You can now know their weakness, strength, and weakness. You can now use the opportunity now based on the result to know each of the personality each of the personality results, and use it now to do what? To coach them. If I know your weakness, I know I can coach you. If I know your strength, I know I can coach you. If I know your strength, I know where I can fix you. The kind of activity that can align to your personality. I will not fix you in a kind of activities that is not alignment with your personality. That's the advantage. If you put me where I can function very well, I'll be happy about it. I'll be motivated. I will do it very well. Than when you put me in an activities, I can still do it oh, but that's not my best core. The core area. Core area is inside my personality. And when that result come out, you put me in that area, I will perform excellently. And it will have better impact, positive impact in the project work. So personality can affect what role you have within the team. You can see. how you interact with the rest of the team, whether your value, your core belief, because your core belief is embedded in your personality, align with the team. There are some people that they cannot be in your team, or when they are in your team, there's a way you are going to treat them because that's their nature. So it's very important. Psychological team roles, result oriented. Can you see? Because you assign me to an area of my best that fits into my personality. So I can get a better result. I can be able to maintain relationship within the team member. I mean, innovative and disruptive thinker, because you know my personality. If I'm in a team member, this person is an innovator. He can think outside the box. He is a disruptive thinker. When he think, he will shake the whole table, and you see result will come out. He may be a process person. So, for example, the people who are introvert, they are a process person. They want to process information. They want to be sure before they make decision. You understand me? So you cannot assign a project or activity or a part of the project that need to be done very fast. Because somebody who's a process person, he will process and process and process and process until overthinking. Therefore, it can affect the project. So process and rule follower. Some people are rule follower. Go to this left, they go. Go to this left, they go. There are some personality. Eh? Some people have both introvert and extrovert. Some people, when there is a place like this one, every place will be moving jiggy jiggy jiggy. Some people go there, they will go. Go there, that's their personality. They don't want wahala, they don't want a problem. So some people are pragmatic. So all these things will help you to be able to assign them to the role. When you say a pragmatic person, you know what he can do. When you know somebody who is an extrovert, this person will be able to work among people. When it's in a group, everybody will be smiling, he will be cracking joke, and the work will move. Somebody who is an introvert, he wants results. He doesn't want to fail. Both of the introvert, they don't want to fail. They will think before they make decision. So this thing will help you also. So using the list of psychological team roles, which type of project tasks or process role will you associate with them? That's what I've just said. Then you also need emotional intelligence, ability to monitor and manage emotion of your team member, your own emotion, and emotion of all the team member, even the stakeholder. Team member, stakeholder, internal stakeholder, external stakeholder, the sponsor, you yourself. They say there are five main components of emotional intelligence: ability to manage people emotion, respond to the people action. Do you understand me? Ehen. Also, you need to manage your own emotion too. If somebody tell you that you abuse your father, how do you respond? Some people don't want to hear say my father, my father, you are calling my father, it can cause problem. But you, who knows about people personality, you know about life, so you manage your emotion. There's a way you can do it in such a way that the person will understand. That will not cause to it will not lead to any arguments and conflict. What are the five main components of emotional intelligence? Mark this one down. In the exam, they can ask you. They can give only one point here. They can give other option wrong. The five component of emotional intelligence are what? Emotional self-awareness. When somebody who is good at emotional intelligence is aware of his emotion, creates awareness of himself. Self-regulation. You can say self-regulation is about self-control. He's not easily fall into temptation. That if you make if there's a rule, he want to regulate himself. He say, I want to shed my weight. He know the kind of food he can eat and the kind of food he cannot eat. So he say, okay, because of my goal is that I want to reduce my weight, because by allowing me to be overweight, it can cause a lot of damage to my body. So he can regulate himself. Motivation is one of the components of the emotional intelligence. Empathy is one of the components. Social skill, ability to relate with the different types of people and still get the same get result. So don't forget for exam, emotional self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, social skill. Write it down in your house, put it in a piece of paper. These are the five components. In case in exam, you get used to it. And this is how you overview it. If you want to use emotional intelligence, you can divide it in a quadrant like this. You can say self, social in the horizontal. You can say recognition and regulation vertically. You can now merge them together. When you say self recognition, I you see, remember we talked about before. Self recognition means self awareness, emotional self awareness, accurate self assessment, self confidence. Anything self confidence, self awareness, accurate self awareness is a self recognition. That's what you call self awareness. But when you go to social recognition, that person, somebody who is socially balanced, socially sound. So you can see social recognition. He has empathy for people. You can relate with people because empathy means that you are in the midst of people. You are a second person. He's not feeling well. He's not feeling fine. He has a problem. You put your person. You put yourself in the shoe of that person. As if okay, if this thing happened to me, how will I feel? You'll be feeling for the person. Social recognition. Another one. Organizational awareness. Is about that's it. Or what? Social recognition, social orientation. Your orientation is about social. Social means that you are the way you relate socially to wide variety of people or characters and personality. You can also say, okay, self regulation. This is where I call self control, self management. Can you see? This one say self awareness, social awareness. You want to say self management. You say self and recognition. That means self control. Part of the self-management is what? Transparency. You only want to say the truth. Adaptability. You can adapt to a different situation. If your oga gave you work to do, whether hard or big or small or anything, you can adapt to any situation. Work given unto you. You can say self-regulation. And it's a drive to achieve. If you are not regulating yourself, you cannot have self-control, you cannot achieve anything. You set goal, you want to achieve. You'll be procrastinating. Procrastination. When you do procrastination, you are not self-regulated. You don't have self-control. You delay. You dragging your feet on important issue until the thing dey expire. It happen to me most of the time. I want to make sure that I put everything in place first before I do. Sometimes I procrastinate and it's not good. It affect me a lot. Then drive to achieve. The initiative. You want to go into a particular thing. You just concentrate and you participate in it. Social regulation. Can you see? Enter to social regulation about relationship management. Can you see? Inspirational leadership, developing order, influence, change catalyst, change agent, conflict management, build bond. These are relationship management. Anything has to do with relationship whereby if there's a conflict, how can you quickly resolve it? So you look these characteristics in your team member. You also need to have these characteristics because you are going to deal with people who are emotional human being, who have self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, relationship management. When you have all these key and your team member have this key, you say you have a conflict free. There's no team that has who is conflict free. No conflict free, but at least the rate of conflict that can damage your project will be minimized to the barest minimum. You can see empathy. Everybody know about empathy. That's what we're talking about here. Empathy is a social recognition. Empathy, social awareness is provide a foundation for understanding the motivation of other people. Empathic traits that make individual more able to contribute to collaborative, high performing team. So we are relating this thing. We are not just talking about it. We are relating it to your team. That your team is a social. You can call it a social team. Whereby you say self awareness, social awareness, relationship management, self-management, all these things will appear in your project. It will appear in your team. It will play out in your scenario. This kind of scenario will play out in your team. So if your team have the knowledge of emotional intelligence, it will not affect them negatively. It will even assist them to be able to what to perform well and boost their productivity. They can be a high productive, high performance team. So can you see? So anything we are talking about here, we're not just talking explaining it. How do you relate it to your project work? Inward help. That's part of it. When you say inward help or outward help. When you say an inward help, individual. Inward help means individual understanding of other. That's what they call empathy. I understand the situation. He's passing through pain. He's feeling feverish. Let him go home for today, because I cannot say because I'm paying him, he must do and die on the work. Go to the doctor and find out what happened. Then get medication. Understand other, then service orientation. You want to help other people. You see an old woman or somebody who carry big load. It may not be an old woman. It's too heavy on the person. Like, can you please let me help you? Let me carry part of it. The same way in your team, somebody is doing a work, he cannot resolve the problem. You come move closer. How may I help you? Like, you have been battling with this thing, and we want to move forward. Can I help you? You understand? Outward help team. Can you see? This is for individual. When you talk about outward help team, develop what? Others. Leverage diversity. When we have different people in my team, I can be able to cope. Have political awareness. You can see. Inward help individual to understanding of order or service orientation. Outward, there are two types of what they call it, empathy. The outward one will help your team member. Inward one will help understanding of others. You are the one understanding the other people and service orientation. Outward one help team, the whole team now develop others. We develop ourselves, leverage diversity, have political awareness. Social skill, everybody knows social skill. Can you see? For you to be able to have this kind of social skill, ability to communicate effectively, fluid communication, effective communication, efficient communication, communicating important information, documents that can assist other team members to do their work. These are the social skill. Bond, building bond. When I say bonding your team, it's like a team. They are your brother and sister. If somebody doesn't come to work one day, everybody will feel the person. That is part of bonding. We are so used to one another that it's like we keep on working like this one forevermore. Collaboration and cooperation, that's a social skill. How do you collaborate? People of different background, having different perspective, ethnic group, idea, way of seeing things, yet you are still able to work together and cooperate. That's a social skill. Catalyzing change. Those are the characteristics of a high performing team. They look at things, problem. They, they are change maker, change developer, change maker. They deliver values. They manage skill, ability to manage skill. That's a social skill. When there's a conflict must come. Conflict is a part of the team norms. Is a part of the team character. So when there's a conflict, how do you manage it? Social skill. Because if you don't manage it, it will disrupt your work and it will not make it to be more productive. Influencing, ability to influence other, especially if you have a good influence. You are a role model. People see you are doing something, you are a high flyer, and therefore they want to be like you. Your character, the way you do things, the way you want to model yourself. You want to model yourself. You want to model about yourself, a positive personality about yourself. You influence them to do the right thing. When I see you that you don't waste time, you're a time manager. You don't procrastinate. You want to do things. You want to do things appropriately. You want to do it on time. They know you are a leader. You are leading them. They will model it. They want to do like that one. You influence them. We have a negative influence. We also have a positive influence. But the one you have to use here is a positive influence, because it is able to form what high performing team member who will be able to boost productivity. Don't forget that one. Why are we doing all these things? Learn about social skill. You want to do what? You want to have what? High performing team. That, don't forget that one. High performing team. What will be the result of high performing team? Productivity boosting. Be writing it down. No. High performing team will lead to what? Boost productivity. Do you understand me? So if your team member have this social skill, it help them to perform very high and produce item, product, deliverable, user story, and function and function in your product that can help you to deliver value and help you to meet your project objectives. Leadership, ability to lead, have vision, craft vision, craft strategy, say the vision to your team, everybody agree, you carry them along, and you have a goal to achieve, everybody work toward that common goal. Social skills. Motivation, can you see, help you to achieve and create drive, make you to be committed, help you to be able to work hard toward the goals. I cannot be reading them for you. You can read them in your own book. Everything is in your own book too. That's the motivation element. You help you to achieve and get a drive. Set tough goal for yourself and achieve it. You don't take chances. You strive you strive for success. Even there's a complex environment, you still strive for success. You discover how to upskill yourself, improve your competencies and your skill to achieve. You minimize uncertainty. That's how you know how to assess risk and to walk through risk in a complex situation, complex environment to achieve what you want to achieve. Commitment, make decisions based on team core principle. Realize the benefit of holistic participation. Sacrifice to fulfill company goals. These are commitment. That's the motivation element. Search for opportunity where it may be to achieve team mission, team goal. You achieve it. Initiative, work hard toward goals. You set goal for the team. Everybody want to work and make sure they meet the deadline and achieve the goal. They inspire others through extraordinary feat. They seize opportunities. That's an opportunity when opportunity that open, you take advantage quick. Optimism, hope to succeed. You don't have people who are negative people. This work, this action, this thing you want to do, it's not possible. Oh. It's not possible. Negative mind, negative people, they've discouraged you. But when you are motivated, some of the elements of that motivation are optimism, hope to succeed. Don't fear failure. In fact, when you fail, it's an opportunity to learn how to pass next time. Perceive reversal as under your control. Don't let anything press you in such a way that you lose your vision. Work toward goal regardless of barrier that's on your way. If there's a barrier, punch the barrier. You cannot punch it, walk around it. You cannot walk around it, climb it. That's what you're trying to talk about here. So how good are you able to motivate your team member when you are leading them to be a productive team, highly performing team, which can boost productivity? That's what I mean. That's what you are saying here. So these are the things we have covered here. You support your team performance. You appraise the team member performance against the key performance indicator, KPI. You set a standard for them. You set goals for them. While they are doing the work of the activities of the project, you assess what they are doing. Whether what they are doing is an alignment with your project goals. You set KPIs. You support and recognize team member growth and development. You want them to grow with the job, grow within their own vision and your goal, grow along with the goal of the organization. Determine appropriate feedback approach. That's a way to get feedback from them to see whether what you are doing is okay. There must be a feedback mechanism. What is the purpose of the feedback mechanism? The purpose is to do what? To improve on what you are doing. Verify performance improvement, whether we are improving. If you are not improving, what do? You do improvement for them by maybe training them. You do training, you mentor them. You promote team performance through what? Application of emotional intelligence, which you have just discovered. We have just talked now. Assess behavior through the use of personality indicator. You can go online and just try www.disc. It's an engine that helps you to discover your own personality so that you can know what you can do well. It will help you to see your weakness, strength and weakness. Then where you can take opportunity of your weakness. Then where you can reduce your what? Threat. Reduce your weakness. Analyze personality indicator and adjust the emotional needs of key project stakeholder. When I know your emotional, I ask you to go and do emotional intelligent personality test online. So I get the result. I know I'm going to place you. I even know how I'm going to relate with you. If I know that you are the one who quickly get angry, I know the way I'm going to address you so that the anger will not be there. I know somebody who I will just talk to anyhow. He will just laugh over it. That's personality. And somebody I will talk to, maybe by mistake, I talk against you one way by mistake. 3 days, the person will put his head down like this, so as if you have used gun, the boot of a gun to knock his head. That simple thing, a simple thing that you talk, I mean maybe simple conversation or mistake you make in addressing the person, you can cause the person to be moody for over 3 days. When somebody is moody in your team, do you know what it mean? You will not be more productive. So that's what we are saying here. These are the little things that can help your organization, I mean your project, to come out effective, useful, produce a quality product, can boost productivity, help you to have a what they call highly performing team. So you can see. Then if you are leading your team, remember, wherever you see team, you will look at collaboration. Whenever I say collaboration, you will thinking of communication. Whenever you thinking of communication, you now think of, okay, if my team member, they are not in the same geographical area, then the way I'm going to communicate with the team member who are co-located is quite different from the way I'm going to communicate with the team who are geographically dispersed, who are not co-located. Can you see? It is when you are managing your team, you'll be thinking of this. So now it's talking about what? Communicate and collaborate with stakeholder. So that's what we are going to talk about here. Communication is the real work of leadership. You can see. To tell you how important this area is to PMI, they write it very big for you. They now quote somebody, Nitin Nohia, Dean of the Harvard Business School, 210 to 220. Man say communication is the real work of leadership. You are a leader. You are leading a team. He's telling you that for you to be able to lead the team successfully, to create a highly productive team, highly performing team, a team that can boost productivity, you must know how to communicate well. You must know how to communicate, what to communicate, when to communicate, who to communicate to, who will receive communication, who will communicate, how you are going to document the communication, what kind of communication technology you are going to use, what method of communication, what is the communication preferences of your the stakeholder. All the stakeholder, they are maybe member of your team, or the key stakeholder, or the outside key stakeholder, internal key stakeholder. The point is that information will flow from the beginning of your project to the end of your project freely. Those communication are document information that are important for each of different type of stakeholder. How do you now do such a in such a way that can help your project to run as smoothly? And what you are saying here. Now, if you are talking about communication, remember when I started with you, when we are talking about communication management plan, how are you going to plan how you are going to communicate when you are managing your project, when you are leading your team, when you are executing the activities and the work of your project? I say you must first identify who are the stakeholder you are going to communicate with. So one of the tools you are going to use to do is say you need to monitor the stakeholder and their engagement. And that's what this is the tools now. You say update grid at key interval. Use analysis and expert judgment. Keep a record of the reason for placement to enhance needed change or improvement. Tailor management strategy and action to individual in addition to their pace in the grid. So this is the grid they are talking about. Let me explain this grid to you so that you can understand what you mean. Don't just cram it. In fact, if you are smart, the way I've taught you here, you just read for 1 week, go and do the exam and pass. You say you classify your stakeholder according to this grid you are seeing here. You can see, everybody can see this grid. You say there are some stakeholder, they have power. Can you see here? Power in this vertical line. See this line that turn up. They have high power. In the project, they are a powerful people in your team member, powerful key stakeholder, whether in your organization outside. Your sponsor is a powerful key stakeholder. Then look at the horizontal interest. You now form a quadrant. You now put them inside this quadrant. You say when you are doing this thing, don't put their name there. Oh. Just represent them A, B, C, D. So see what I'm going to do now. Say this power, we have a stakeholder that has high power, low power. There's a stakeholder that has low interest, high interest. You now merge them now and say a stakeholder that has high power and high interest. That one is just like a when you're talking about politics in Lagos State. You know a man that has high power, high interest. He has high interest, high business. He has a lot of business in this Lagos. He has high power. When he cough like this one, everybody will shake. He can shake the table. Everybody know it. I know everybody know in this Lagos. He's a stakeholder. When you come to Lagos State, he's a stakeholder. Now he's even more a stakeholder, the global stakeholder now. The whole Nigeria now, he has what he practice in Lagos, he will eventually practice in Nigeria, whereby the way he handle Lagos State, he put Lagos State inside his pocket. He's going to put the whole Nigeria inside his pocket. Nigeria don't know what we are doing now. See the naira, the way he's flying, the dollar is flying against naira. We aren't seeing anything. I'm not a politician, no. So that person high power. So in your own project too, you look at who has high power, high interest. In an exam can ask you, what will you do with a stakeholder that high power in this project and high interest? What you should do? Manage closely. That person is a very dangerous person. You have to manage him closely. Move close to know what he wants, what does he want, what his preferences, what is are the challenges, how do you meet his need, how do you collaborate with him, how do you interact with him, meet his need. He said if you have a stakeholder in your team or in your project who has high power but has low interest, what do you do with that person? You keep him satisfied because he has power. Anybody that's in power, high power, even though you don't have more interest, you can satisfy him. Once you satisfy him, you help him. Yes. But if you have a stakeholder who has low power, but he has high interest, because he has high interest, you must keep on informing him. Because of his interest, you keep him informed about how the project is going. But if you only has high power but low interest, that person want high power because of his power, you satisfy him. Oh. Anybody that has power, he asks you to do something, satisfy him. Oh. Anybody that doesn't have much power but he has interest, what do you keep? You inform him because he has interest in what you are doing. You need to inform him. That interest means you need to inform him about it. But there are other stakeholders in your project who don't have high power. They have low power. They have low interest. Just monitor him. They are not too. They are not a threat to your project. But the thing is that how do you know when they are going to move from A to C or A to B? Because different stakeholders has different interests in different area of your project. When it comes to maybe another module of your project, anybody that has low power, low interest can change. His power can change to high power, high interest. Interest in that portion of the project may be high. His power to make decision may be high. That's why you are seeing this one. And say monitor the stakeholder and their engagement. Understand what I've just done here? It help you to know different kind of stakeholder, how you are going to engage them and monitor them. If they where they are before, they move to another quadrant. How do you relate with them? Somebody who you have to monitor this person. He is not taking everything serious. But when you come to the financial area of your project, he woke up, his power become higher, and he have interest, high power, high interest. Keep managing him, but that person is very sensitive. He can undo. Once you manage them very well using this thing, so they will cooperate with you. You'll be on the same page, and they will support you, and they will make your project to be successful. That's why we are learning it. Remember that when you are managing stakeholder, remember this called communicate and collaborate with stakeholder. Communication. Remember we talking about whenever you are talking about communication, you have planned communication before. That is why we talk about communication management plan. When you are planning it, you have not done anything. You and your team member and the stakeholder say, how are we going to be communicating information, idea, document when we start executing the work of the project? This is now, you are leading the team now. The team who are executing the project work. It is now you are going to use the communication plan which you have planned before. So what did you plan that one? We have done it before. I don't even need to repeat this one, you know. When you say communication management plan, what are the things you plan when it comes to communication? Identify team member and stakeholder. For example, Sender mean the people will be sending information to. Receiver mean the people we are going to be getting information from. Most of the people we are going to send information to, they are the key stakeholder. Your progress report, your project report, your progress report. You understand me? They need to assess what you are doing. There are some people you receive information from. You need to identify them. You are planning before. So when you are doing your project work now, it doesn't give you any problem. You know who are going to send information to. You know the people who are going to send information to you. Authorizing person. Can you see? Authorizing person, confidential information. There are some information that are so confidential that not everybody should have access to them. How do you manage it? You are planning before. You know the people who cannot receive information at all. That means people sender who you can send information to. People who can receive information from. People that must not even see an information. There's some information that should remain confidential. And then when information should be confidential, then you should be able to have a database that is not porous. No hacker can hack it because those information they are like gold. One is revealed to the third party, it can damage your project. Then list of stakeholder communication requirements. Every stakeholder have requirement. Like I said before, what type of communication am I going to communicate? Reason for communication. All these things you must have planned them. The language, the format, the content, and the level of details of that communication. You are planning it. Time frame and frequency. How frequent will you be? When will you communicate? And how often will you communicate? Whether receipt or acknowledgement or response is required. There's some information, there's some mail. When you mail it out, when you send a mail, some mail you don't need to get feedback. Some mail you need to get feedback. All these things you have planned. Where do you put the planning? Communication management plan. So when you are now executing your project, you don't follow what you plan. It will make your project work. Leading of your project team member, your project work, activities in your project to run smoothly. Processes, guidance, template for escalation. Somebody is disturbing us. Can you updating, refining the plan? Sometimes you need to refine the plan based on the changing needs of the project or your team member or the stakeholder. Running project status meeting is part of communication. When you say you are doing meeting, a status meeting in your project. When every Monday in your organization, on your team setting, every Monday when you come in the morning, you first have meeting, like a stand-up meeting in a Scrum methodology. When you want to start the work in a day, you do a 15 minutes stand-up meeting. What do you do in that meeting? I have explained it before. You ask yourself, what are the challenges that face you in the last sprint, the work we did in last sprint? What are we going to do today to achieve our sprint objective? You understand me? What are the impediments that will not allow us to achieve our project work? So you ask that question. How do you run that meeting? You have already explained that one in the communication management plan. But when you say communication, what are you doing in meeting? You are communicating information. Updates. Status meeting. Uh-huh. We have a progress and status. Progress and status. Progress report, status report, project teams meeting, sending email, using website, using project management information system. All these things are communication which you have already planned before. All the documents, all my artifacts, where will I store it? Where will I update it? If I want to retrieve it, where do I retrieve it? If I want to make changes, remember that project management information system and project management information we have talked about before. Your project information, communication. What method are you going to use to communicate? Are you going to use one-on-one, face-to-face? We call it pull, push. You can push information to people. You can pull information from your database. I can see you face-to-face. We have methods, different methods of communicating. Pull, push, and what? You pull, you push. Who can tell me the third one? Method of communication. We have what they call pull communication. We have push communication. Who can tell us? Who can finish the third one? I turn to assignment. We have pull communication. We have push communication. Pull means that you can go to your database. You have access. Everybody have access. Go online and search for a particular thing that will help you to do the work of your project. Pull. Push. I can send information to a group of people like using email. They may give me feedback. They may not give me feedback. What are the other one? The third one. Who can tell us?
It's a physical communication where you do it in
And that,
person.
yes, you are right. But I want that's a particular name because in exam you should need to know it. Interpersonal. That's you see me face to face like this. That's the name you call it. It's the best because when I speak to you face to face, you can respond back to me. You don't delay. I know your mind. I can read you. You can tell me your mind. Pull push. What's the what you can interpersonal communication? Abi? There's a name. I want to give everybody. Go and look at it. Go and search online. Say method of communication because they can give you an exam. They can help you to spell out a scenario. They say which method are they using here. When I say a project manager is sending an email full of information to all the team member, he send it out. Whether they are going to respond or they are not going to respond, he send information out. That one is what they call push. You are pushing information. One person is pushing information to group of people, stakeholder. That's his pull. When I say that's push. When I say pull, all the team member and the stakeholder, there's a database. Everybody there's a particular information that if you need it, go there and search it and pull it out by yourself and make use of it. Or I want to improve your skill. I say go and do training online. I say go to Udemy and go and do one training there. You can go and pull information from there or database or any other way. There's one that I can see you face to face communication. So they say you are a project manager. You are sending information to all these a key stakeholder and you are using email. That kind of one is pull. Sorry, push. But all the key stakeholder, all your team member, there are some information. Those information you are put it in a particular location in your database or anywhere, in anywhere you can keep it. So when you need it, go there and look for it. That is pull.
Excuse me, is the third one interactive?
Interactive, yes.
Please, is it interactive?
Interactive, yes, interactive. So that's the three method. You pull, you
Okay.
push, and you interact. Face to face, I can see you. I want information from you, I can see you. You tell me if it's not clear, I want you to clarify it for me there. In fact, I can get it the way I want it. And that's the best. If the exam asks you which one is the best one is interactive. Because you are interactive. I see you, see me, you clarify issue, you give me response quickly. Like, hey, if it's not available, you tell me quickly, I know what to do. So you must understand. Project information methods. Then part of the communication management plan, which you have planned before you start doing the work, is technology you are going to use. Where does technologies now come in? Well, different kind of way, means or platform eh, eh, through which you can communicate information to your team member. You can use email, you can use video conferencing, you can use this social platform. Like you know what social platform like what do you call it? Can you name all the social platform communication and platform you can communicate information to people? Who can help us? You use all these
WhatsApp.
things. What do you call it?
Microsoft Team.
Microsoft Team, yes. SharePoint,
Microsoft Team.
yes.
Yeah,
Microsoft
bro.
Team, yes. You are correct.
Meet that we are
Yes, you are correct.
using.
Correct.
Can use Yama as well.
Google Drive.
Google Drive, yes. What about all the social platform like what do you call it? Uh, what do you call this popular one? WhatsApp. You can use it. You can use phone. You can use video conferencing. You can use audio conferencing. You can use instant messages. All these things are technology you can use to disseminate information, idea, documents to your stakeholder. They help you to collaborate. SharePoint. So you have to factor all these things. That is what to put in your communication management plan. When you are now doing the work now, that plan, you work it down. You plan it. It's not when you start the project, you begin to look at what's the phone number of this person? Which am I going to use video conferencing? Am I going to use audio conferencing? All of them are being put in place. So when you are now leading the team who are doing the work of the project, you lead them smoothly. Then allocate resources, time and budget. Yes, that's what you do for all these things, communication. Glossary. There are some, when you say glossary, it means that there are some technical language, common language that everybody should have a common understanding. So when we use it, if you don't even understand it, there's a document that helps you to explain it. If I say absconded, not everybody understand meaning absconded. Say when the fire about to occur, all the staff and the team member absconded through the window. Somebody doesn't even understand absconded. Then go and look at the glossary, the meaning of that word, you understand it. This is a communication. I just use that one as an example. Oh. There are some technical language you use that not everybody is familiar with it. There must be a glossary, the definition of terms. And that's what they call communication. If you communicate to me, you are using technical language, I don't understand. You ask me to go to the right, I go to the left. You ask me to do something like this. The line or the wall, the wall you are going to build, it should be the width and the height should be so amount of whether centimeter or millimeter. I don't know what you mean. I go and search for it so that I can do the right thing. It means that you must be communicating to me in the language I can understand. When I understand the language, I can do the right thing, right activities in my project that can help me to be able to be more productive. You can also use flow charts, workflow, list of reports, meeting plan, constraint. All these things are the tools that can help you to be able to disseminate information. That is it. So all these plans must be in place, and it is the plan you are going to follow when you are communicating data, information, and documents to your team member. It's like a baseline. When it comes to communication, this is how I'm going to do my communication in my project. It has been approved, and therefore, if I use it, it will assist me to achieve my project objectives. Look at it as a managed project communication mix. This is a continuation of the one we are talking about before. Abbreviation of communication management plan that is really what identify team member and stakeholder as what who is the sender, receiver, is a uh, this one is a repetition of that one. So type of information, reason for communication. Can you see? So stakeholder communication requirement. What type of communication are you sent to the stakeholder? Why are you communicating it? The language you are using. Is it technical language? Language must be one that they understand. What format are you using? What content? What should be the content of the communication? What is the level of detail of that communication? How frequent? What time are you going to communicate to the stakeholder? Whether you are going to receive the feedback, your acknowledgement or response is required. We are looking at the process of the communication, the guidelines. Is there any template that has been put in place that can help you to be able to fix your communication problem? What do you need to escalate? You know, in a business, in a project setting, there are some issues that might come up that the project manager will not be able to undo by himself. There's an issue that will occur that the team member will not be able to undo. They will escalate that information to the project manager. There are some issues that will occur in your project that your project manager will not be able to undo. You will escalate it to the people at the strategic level, the management. How do you do this thing? These are the part of things you must know. All these things have been put in place. It will help you to run your project smoothly and lead the people very well, successfully, so that you'll be able to achieve your project objective. Then, project information, communication method, technology you are using, which you have discussed before. Then, this is very important for your exam. Communication is a two-way. Active listening. Active listening and what? Effective feedback. Don't forget, oh, this one exam can come out here. Oh. When you communicate, when you send information to somebody, that person must be able to listen very well. You call it decoding and encoding. When you encode something, you are sending information through a medium. That medium has a subject. The person on other side must receive it. It's a decoder. He will decode it, he will understand it. Then if he doesn't understand, he will indicate, I don't understand what you are saying. Can you please repeat what you have said? The same way, that is when you are communicating information by using face-to-face interaction. You can also communicate documents, not only I'm talking to you, you are talking to me. When you're talking about communication, it could be interactive. It could be the one that I'm going to just send information to you, data to you. So you must know the reason. Why are we doing this one? Is that when I send information to you, it should be clear. If it's not clear, you ask me to clarify so that you by telling me that I should clarify it, that means you are listening to me actively. So active listening mean what? Enable collaboration. If you are communicating information to me or data or document, if I don't understand the meaning, it's useless. You just waste my time, resources. It can endanger my project. Active listening require listener to provide feedback. E show that you are listening to me about what they heard by what. Can you please restate it for me? You just spoken something about that. It's not clear to me. Can you please restate it to me so that I can have a better understanding of what you are saying? Can you paraphrase it to me? It's like you are using technical language. I don't understand that technical language. Can you rephrase it in a way that can give me a better understanding? You can also use body language, such as nodding your head. That is why we are talking about interactive communication. When you are pulling, nobody is nodding. When you are pulling, nobody is nodding. But when you are interacting with me, I can see you face to face. I can nod. I can see the tone, your face, body language, the way you frank your eye. You frown your eye, the way your body language. You tell me about more about the communication, because those things also, they are the element that make you to understand what we are communicating. You confirm understanding and build trust. Then effective feedback. When you encode, when you decode, when you encode information, somebody will decode it. He also will also be an encoder. Then you also another time you become a decoder. So effective feedback is what? Clear, specific, offered in a timely manner. Your info is clear. You are specific. You offer a timely that information in online. That is quickly. Then objectives and critical. The effective feedback should be objective, should be critical, should be positive if received and understood as objective. That's objective. When I receive something from you, information from you, I am clear about it, and I give you the feedback. I understand this. That's you met the objective. If it's negative, I misunderstand the information, and if I accept it without looking at it critically, I use the information. I may be using information to do some things, activities in my project. You have assigned activity to me, and I get wrong information, and I implemented wrong information in my project. What will be the outcome? It can make my project to fail. It can be a deficient to my project. It can make me to have a loophole in my project. It can turn out to be that that one alone, because of the miscommunication, I didn't meet my objective. It can lead to a breakdown of many things. So negative, if misunderstood, or there is a lack of trust or psychological safety. So now, whenever you see something like this, and they give this icon, they say, even though we say all these things, there are some exceptional cases, situation that you need to still put consideration into. You say consider lack of feedback as an implicit acceptance of the message by the receiver. If somebody doesn't give you feedback, if I send mail to you, you don't understand it, or you understand it. If you don't understand it, you didn't give me feedback, I will assume that you understood. If I send message to you, you didn't tell me to re-clear it, to restate it, you paraphrase it, that means you understood what I say. But if you don't understand, you ask me to rephrase it and restate it. You even use body language. You nod, yes, I understand. Sometimes nodding mean when you nod to somebody, yes, I understand. When you smile, it's a good situation. When you frown, it's like you don't understand. Maybe you are using technical language. I just frown. I say, in my mind, what does that one mean? I use my language. You may be doing that thing, you don't even know it. But somebody who's looking at you will see it. So consider the lack of feedback as an implicit acceptance of the message by receiver. So communication failure are threats to projects Can you see? That is why in exam they will try. See, there's a 99% chance probability that this area we are treating now, because you are leading a project, you need to collaborate and communicate. This area will come at about 99% chance. The question will come out from there. Communication failure are the threat to project. So discuss communication issue openly when team member directly during team retrospective. When you say team retrospective, when you are using agile or scrum methodology, when a team member have finished a sprint, they have gone through a section, they have done increment, they have produced a part of the project, they will now sit back, they will now say, they will retrospect and say, last sprint, let us evaluate ourselves. What did we do well? What did we not do well? The thing we did not do well, in the next sprint, how do we do it well? The thing we have done well, how do we do better than that? In continual improvement. You see, that's part of communication. You finish the project, part of the project, you are on a recess. You now do a meeting and evaluate yourself so that the next sprint you'll be able to do it better. Continual improvement in exam. When I say, what's the purpose of the sprint retrospective? Sprint retrospective is to what? For continuous improvement. Don't forget that the purpose of team retrospective or sprint retrospective is to help the team member to evaluate themselves and improve in the coming sprint. You understand that? It's very important. When I say sprint review, sprint review means that you have reviewed, you are not reviewing yourself, your performance. You are reviewing the project work. You are demonstrating the increments you made during the sprint. For example, I told you that in a project, you can divide your project work into smaller units. Like you want to create an application. You say this application, you want to create it in modules. When you finish one module, in the sprint review, you will demonstrate that module, how it's working, whether that module met the definition of done. You demonstrate it to the end user, other key stakeholder, in the presence of the scrum master and the product master and the other user. So they will now tell you, okay, this thing you produce is okay. You can go ahead, that's an increment, you put it apart. If it's not okay, they will tell you why you are demonstrating it to them. They say, though it's okay, but there's a way you can still do certain things. Maybe the screen of that module, maybe it's an application. How does the screen, where do you place it? The buttons and all the security feature, they want you to improve on it. So what you are doing there, you are doing demo. Sprint retrospective means you are demonstrating that increment you have created in your sprint to the whole team and all the key stakeholder and the end user, so that they can give you a feedback for improvement. What you are majorly doing there is to do what? You are demonstrating that increment. When you are doing a sprint retrospective, you are doing continual improvement. That is, the team, they are evaluating themselves. They are evaluating the process they use in that sprint when they are creating the product. Therefore, the next sprint, they can improve on what they are doing. Don't forget that. In the case of a key stakeholder, you might need to escalate as appropriate. There are some information, there are certain things you will do in your project. It has reached your neck. It reaches your neck. You cannot handle it. You cannot handle it. It is not in the area of your capacity to handle that thing. You have to escalate it to the people at the top, and the people at the strategic level, the management. What we are doing here is about communication, communicating idea, communication project, communication user story, communicating deliverable, communicating increment, communicating your performance among the team member and the key stakeholder. Remember that report and formal communication. We have report. For a good project, you have what they call status report, then progress report. You have about three type of report. You have a status report, we have a progress report, we have a report whereby You will use it to project the future. You can say projection based on my status report and progress report. I can project. I can be able to estimate what is likely to happen next in my project. So I want us to ask. I want to ask this question. I want to be specific about the person who is going to answer this question. Let me look at Mr. Akin. What is the difference between status report and progress report? Mr. Akin, you know the work you are going to be doing. You assess it, you send report. It is what your report is what the stakeholder need to assess what you are doing. And that's a part of kind of communication. Report, it could be formal, it could be informal. I said, what is the difference between exam can ask you, what is the difference between the progress report and status report?
Okay, status report is it's a report that gives details of the entirety of the entire achievement from the beginning to the current stage, and how how the project has aligned with the plan or with the design from the onset.
Correct, correct. So
And yes, progress report is a routine report on what is achieved on certain period of time. It may be a weekly progress report,
yes,
daily progress report, hourly progress report, and so on and so
what
forth.
have you achieved so far? What you have
Yes,
achieved so far? But status report is
over a
what
certain period of time.
what but status report is what have you achieved up to this point, what you are doing now, report of what you are doing now.
Yes.
You are perfect the way you said it. I like it. You know, that's a form of communication.
Th- Thank
So,
you.
yes, that's a form of a communication. So, as a project manager, you need to send status report, progress report. Your team member who are under you, they will be, you have assigned different kind of activity to them. They need to give you report about what they are doing. They are accountable to you, but you are accountable to the key stakeholder. So you gather all their reports and your report, you integrate them together to give the progress report and status report to the like a sponsor or the key stakeholder. You are communicating. They want to know where you are in the project. They give you 1 million to do project, and it's going to take 6 months, and you have spent about 2 million. You are still in the second month. That report will make us to know your performance, whether they need to encourage you or you need to change pattern. You need to make some changes before the thing get out of hand, so that you don't go answer your project. So this is also part of the communication we are talking about. So when you are managing your project, all these things are very essential. Some of these reports you can have a format that have been a format that have been created for you before. That's a format. Just put the information there. What they call a format that have already been. What do you call it? A format that has already been created. So that you just feed that format, and it should be easier for you. What do you call that?
Template.
What do you call it?
Is it template?
Template.
Templates.
That's what I'm saying. Therefore, your organization process asset. Every organization who is managing project, you must first ask them. They call it organization process asset. There's a template. Everything you are doing your project, the activities, everything has template. You can leverage that template. Your progress report, there's a template for it. Just fill in it and make it easier for you. Don't crack your brain. There's a status report template. There's a financial reporting template. There's a different kind of template for the activities. All those things are communication. So a formal reporting at appropriate milestone is a proven way of maintaining continuous communication with stakeholders. That's what they need. The stakeholder want reports. They want to know how efficient you are, how effective you are. They want to assess your progress. They want to assess your performance. They want to see whether you are making use of the time very well. You are keeping to deadline. They want to know the milestone, the list of milestone. Are you covering them? They want to know how effective you are. They want to know whether you can meet the deadline. You are spending the budget very well. They want to know whether you are on budget, over budget, or behind budget. They want to know whether you are on schedule, ahead of schedule, behind schedule, or on schedule. That's the purpose of communication. That's the purpose of reporting. So when you say you are leading the team, you need to communicate. Report, formal report. So formal reporting at appropriate milestone is a proven way of maintaining continuous communication with the stakeholder. It also needed to obtain sign off or approval on work. When you finish one task at one level, you want to start another one, you have to sign this one off. They will look at it, they will validate it, it's okay before you start another one. Most of the time, the work you will be doing, when you showcase it to them, they validate it, they will ask, they append signature, they approve of the work to start, or you have done it very well, the one you have completed. These are means, they are ways of communication, of communicating information in your project. Recipient of reports and the desired frequency, that means how often will you be reporting it, are noted on the stakeholder engagement plan. There are two plans now. Don't forget in exam. Stakeholder engagement plan. How do you plan how you are going to engage with your stakeholder? In that one, you still need to communicate with them. It's part of it. How often you communicate with them? What type of communication technology will they need? You also need the overall communication management plan. Stakeholder management plan is also is a subordinate of the communication management plan. So you must understand. So I want to give you assignment. Go and Google it or look at your book that was given unto you. Say, what is the difference between stakeholder engagement plan and communication engagement plan? I will give you my email. You people will write it and send it to me. I will assess it because it's very crucial. Can you see they underline it? That means you expect such a thing for an exam. Stakeholder engagement plan. What is the difference between stakeholder engagement plan and communication engagement plan? They are both plan. What is the purpose of each one of them? Very important. How to collaborate. This is fantastic. How do you collaborate? Everybody understand about collaboration. I will explain it. Collaborate means to what? In your team setting, your project means to cooperate with one another, unite, jointly work together, pull yourself together. It means to work jointly with others to achieve specific tasks or activities to achieve a common goal. Collaborate is a partnership, a union, the act of producing or making things work by maybe group of people. So how do you collaborate? Look at your book that sent to you. Though I'm going to explain it now. Mark this one down because collaboration, communication, engagement, interaction has to do with the activities of your project and when you are leading the team member to do the activities of the project. Because collaborating effectively using communication and another method or means will help you to boost your team productivity. High performing teams is as a result of your ability to collaborate well using different means. And the major means is communication. So how to collaborate? Optimize understanding of aims and the expectation through open dialogue and meaningful communication. That's straightforward. That's English language. Engage continuously. It's not one instant engagement. Throughout the lifespan of your project, from the start to the end, you keep on engaging and communicate information, data, or document to your stakeholder. Reports, whether status report, project report, or the one you are going to help you to be able to simulate the future event. Accept that engagement level may fluctuate. Yes, it may change. Fluctuation. Yes, for example now, if you know that I talk about that diagram that day, remember I talk about the diagram that you say a stakeholder you are going to engage and communicate with, information to or relate with or collaborate with. It may have high interest, high power, low interest, low power, low power, high interest. So you may be watching a stakeholder that has high power and low interest. It may not be a threat to your project, but there may be a stage in your project where the power given unto him can be high and the interest, because he's going to benefit in that stage of that project. In that stage, and when I say stage, there are different stages in your project. It's going to benefit him. He will move from low power, low interest to high power, high interest. So That's why you need to be watching that one. We said that any stakeholder that is high, has low power, low interest. What do you do about that stakeholder? How do you manage that stakeholder? How do you communicate to that stakeholder? What will you do? What's the major thing you are going to do? Low power, low interest.
Monitor.
You monitor.
Monitor.
Yes, because you may not know when it's going to be wake up and say, this is the area of the project I'm more interested in, and I have power in this area. So that means you need to monitor him. When does he move from that stage to a stage of high power, high interest? What do you do to stakeholder that has high power, high interest? How do you interact with him? How do you collaborate with him? What do you do?
Manage closely.
Manage closely. For exam, know those things. I've seen such a question before. A step, they will give you a long they'll just give you a long story, but just look at the keyword. They say as a project manager, you are managing a project ABC, and you discover through the engagement process of your stakeholder, you discover that a project man one of the stakeholder, uh, during the stage during a stage in a project, he discovered that he is more interested in that stage, and therefore he was given a high power, and his interest in that stage is so high. He said, how are you going to manage that stakeholder? He said, manage him closely. It's like Asiwaju of Lagos State. That man, we have not understood that man. He's a strategist. He has done his work far 20 years ago. You know he's going to be a governor. Though we cannot say he has that high integrity, though he may not have integrity. But when it comes to strategy, he has strategized himself. In this Lagos, nobody has power in this Lagos. And that's what he want to do nationally for us. I'm sorry, I'm not a politician. No. I'm a trainer. I'm training you. Because in your organization where I go to manage project, there's politics there. If you don't know who's a strategist, who do you want to manage closely, when the person cough, he change the whole table. That person can damage you, he can frustrate you. So you know how to manage it closely. That's the purpose of that's why I'm giving you that example for you to understand. That man, the whole Lagos is inside his pocket, whether you like it or not. Until when that yoke is broken, we may never have a progress in this country. One man control everybody. He's using strategy, and everybody is just following go. Yeah, if you know that if you don't want to cooperate, you know what to do. Whether to treat you possibly or to treat you another way. I will not say that one. You don't understand. That's why in your project too, you have stakeholders like that. You must have to manage them closely, satisfy them, meet their need, attend to them, in fact, listen to them, engage them in your project. In fact, seek advice from them. That's the strategy you are going to use yourself. So they say accept that engagement level may fluctuate. Keep this keep discussion transparent. That's how to collaborate. If the discussion we are making in our team member is not open to everybody, there's a hide and seek, it will not work, and it will affect your project negatively. Ensure stakeholders are knowledgeable and expectations are met. That's the purpose you are managing the project. Every project manager has you need to feed him with information about the project, the process of the project, report, status report, and all the other reports. Then the expectation must be met. It's very important. This is your work to do it. That's how to collaborate. If the expectation is not met, they will work against you. They will not support you. You're not being on the same page with them. The purpose of managing this stakeholder to collaborate with them is to support you so that you can be able to do your project successfully. Don't forget all this. I'm giving you a lot of information that even if you go for the interview or go for any project or sit for exam, just read few. I'm not saying you should read few, read to gather more information, but I'm divulging much information about how to manage project to you. If you are so smart, you will not feel it, you pass. And that's my desire for everybody, by the grace of God. So leverage communication and interpersonal skill. Part of it, when you are collaborating, information, communication, and interpersonal skill work together. Can you see? Interpersonal skill, feedback, and meeting management. You know how to manage meeting. It's part of it. How to give feedback. Feedback is form of reporting. Reports. Feedback for improvement. Interpersonal skill like communication and all those skills we know about interpersonal skill, which you have listed before. Maximize the feedback loop, gain meaningful insight. Feedback loop is for improvement. The purpose of feedback mechanism is about feedback is a improvement, improving on what you are doing. Look at your process and how you can fine tune your process, how you can fine tune your processes, how you can fine tune your workflow, how you can fine tune your methodology, how to make sure that things are done in a way that should be done so that the objectives of the project can be achieved. Then you can be able to achieve the organizational strategic objective. The end user or the will be enjoy your production. Use effective tools. Share like a share whiteboard. That's another example like a Kanban board. You can use a share whiteboard. You can use whiteboard. You can use any other thing so that you can make information open. Information radiator. Can you see? Use information radiator. Can you see? Look at it now for example. What are the information? That's the way they will craft. They will craft a question from this kind of in this area. Information radiator. Keep information visible. The purpose of the information radiator is to keep the information visible. It will be clear to everybody. We know to everybody. No hide and seek issue. Everybody will be on the same page. You get the right information at the right time. Then the right information at the right time will lead to what? Right outcome. Write it down. Right information, right information at the right time when the right people will lead to right outcome. What is the right outcome? Successful project. Successful completion of a project. Right information at the right time when the right people will lead to what? Right outcome. So can tell you how information is very powerful. Right information at the right time when the right people will lead to right outcome. How do you do that one? Use information radiator, Kanban board. Another name you can call it whiteboard, wikis, fishbowl and window. So information radiator enable open communication and collaboration. That's the purpose of communication. Collaboration and communication. When you collaborate well, you get a right outcome, a successful completion of a project that meets the project objective, a project that helps the organization to achieve its strategic business objectives. Secondary benefit is innovation. When information flow very well, e able to be more innovative because you are getting information from other people point of view, add it together. People a different point of view, new idea, creative idea, innovative idea. So secondary benefit is innovation to provide conversation and collaboration when stakeholder visit the workspace. They can be electronic or physical or both. That's all this information radiator like Kanban. Whiteboard can be electronic, it can be physical, it can be mechanical. If you mechanical, you just ask what they call a paper, you fix it on board, you write something there, everybody will see the information. Main benefit is what? Accountability, promoting responsibility among the team member. Who does this? Who finishes this one? What are we doing now? What are we still doing? What are we have done? We still need to review. What are the things we have reviewed? We have finished it done. We have completed. It's important for your project to succeed. What are the collaboration activities? I told you about daily standing meeting. When you are using Kanban and when you are using Scrum methodology, they call it daily Scrum meeting. You ask 3 questions. What are we trying to do today in our Scrum sprint? What did we do yesterday? Whether we have any issue. What are the issues we have in what we did yesterday? They are not allowed to meet our objectives. 3 questions. They can be asked in exam. Then another activities of the collaboration is what? Co-located or face-to-face working. You know when you are collaborating, when you are your team are in the same geographical area or when they are not in the same geographical area. What are the activities that should take place there? Scheduling section, milestone review. There are some important things you have achieved in your project. If you are building a house, you can say when you feel a foundation, that's a milestone. How do you review it before you go further? Backlog refinement. Maybe the user story, the requirement and or the feature and function that you need to correct. They call it backlog refinement. Project update meeting is part of it. Collaboration, that's the activity. Update meeting, update report. You do updates. You want to update certain document, information. You do updating. These are the collaboration activity because you cannot do update by only one person cannot do update. It's a combination of people, team member, who will look at it and see how they can update the information. You have version 1, version 2, version 3. Peering or coaching is part of a collaboration activity. You can coach your team member. You can pair them to somebody who is skillful. This person is not skillful. This one is skillful. Pair the person who is less skillful to the person who is skillful as a knowledge transfer. It's going to help your organization. You are transferring knowledge from somebody who is skillful, that kind of knowledge to somebody who is not skillful. It will help them to perform very well. High performing team. Don't forget. High performing team is what? It's a team that bring out right outcome. Right outcome. What mean of right outcome? Right outcome mean what? Boosted productivity. Boosted productivity. Then negotiation. You know, when you are doing negotiation, maybe you are negotiating for resources. There's some decision you want to make. You want to negotiate it. You can't just say I want to do by you need to negotiate. Those are collaboration. It takes more than two persons to negotiate. Then communicate and collaborate to negotiate. When you are negotiating, everybody know about negotiation. It's part of your syllabus. You must be able to negotiate information, negotiate things in your organization. Two people are arguing for a particular thing. Other key stakeholder want to use a resource. Maybe another project manager, we are project A, project B, project C. All of you want to get the resources. How do you negotiate so that you are going to negotiate so that they can give it to you, that you are the one based on the level and the capacity and the bigness and the wholeness of your project or the scale of your project. You should be able to negotiate. It's part of communication. It's part of collaboration. It takes two to tango. So think of negotiation as conversation with internal and external parties toward reaching agreement. So when you want to reach agreement on a particular issue, you negotiate. It's part of communication. It's part of collaboration. Use effective communication because if you don't know if you don't have the capacity to communicate effectively, you cannot negotiate. You are going to use emotional intelligence because when you are negotiating, something will make you to disagree. Are you going to get annoyed there? Can you see? And use effective communication method to ensure collaboration wins. The other party is aimed at reaching consensus. Everybody will agree at the same point. And you see the person they are shaking because they have reached consensus. They can negotiate. And negotiation can pay, it can pay the both party. It can benefit the both party. Sometimes negotiation can benefit only one party. So where if it doesn't benefit you, how do you react? Emotional intelligence. Consensus. See, two of them they are shaking consensus. Keep negotiation positive to increase the likelihood of success. It should be positive one. Don't let it lead to a point whereby we disagree and we begin to fight one another. Meeting is part of it. In the meeting, you collaborate, you communicate. Everyone time is valuable. So run and participate in meeting efficiently. Be organized, provide a clear agenda. Whenever you are running a meeting, your team member, these are your team member now. Make sure that you have agenda and that what you are going to discuss in the meeting to save the time because you are on a deadline. You have to meet a deadline. Don't go and do meeting and waste all the people time. They may not come next time. Even if they come next time, they will not even want to participate because they say, what are we discussing? The one we did last time, no output, nothing. It doesn't help us. So your meeting must be organized, provide a clear agenda with purpose and detailed outcome. You know what? Okay, after this meeting, what will be the effect of this meeting? How does it contribute to our project activity? How does it align to the project activity? How does it help us to improve the activities of the project so that I can be able to meet the project objective? It must be time box. This language time box is used in agile or scrum methodology. Every sprint is time box. When we are going to talk about that methodology, scrum, you see all the sprints, all the activities you are going to do, they are time box. For example, daily stand-up meeting is 15 minutes. You have to do that on 15 minutes. What did you do last week? We discussed it. Last sprint. What are we going to do in this sprint? We discuss it within that 15 minutes. and what are the impediments, challenges that we met when we did the last sprint. It must be done within 15 minutes. Then after that, every dispatch go for the main sprint. Time box discussion. Don't leave the discussion to unending. 15 minutes we are going to discuss it, and we are going to go and do the not necessary thing. Practice active listening in the meeting. That's what we have discussed before. Active listening and feedback, they go together they are like a twins. Listen to me clearly to understand what I'm saying. You understand, you give me a feedback. If you don't give me a feedback, I assume that you understood. Then facilitate collaboration in a meeting. If there's no collaboration, the meeting will not run out effectively. It's a wasted meeting. Then also, you need to, when you're talking about that issue we have just discussed now, you'll be talking about how do stakeholder engagement assessment matrix. You call it SIM. You use expert judgment and emotional intelligence and interpersonal skill to assess stakeholder. That's a point for you again to write down. Use expert judgment, expert opinion, emotional intelligence, and interpersonal skill to assess stakeholder. You can come at an exam like this. They will give you that option that are wrong. Use the SIM regularly and often. Engage stakeholder by categories to coach them and find solution. So what have we covered here? We have covered about how to manage communication in your project. You communicate project information and update efficiently. Information will be moving up and down, vertical, horizontal. Data information document will be moving to help you to be able to do your project management processes very well. How do you manage it? Confirm communication is understood. Feedback. That's what we have just finished talking about here. That there must be what? There must be what they call active listening and feedback and collaboration. They work together. So communicate project information and updates effectively. Confirm communication is understood and feedback is received. Because if you don't get feedback, I just guess. I'm doing guessing work. I'm doing guessing activities. Getting activities will lead to guessing outcome. Guessing outcome may be negative and it will damage your project. Lead a team. That's what we have just covered in this. Analyze team member and stakeholder influence. We talk about that team. We talk about high interest, low power. You need to be able to analyze the team member, your team member, their capacity, using different kind of method to know their personality, so that I can assign a job based on their personality. They will perform well in their area of strength. In my own strength, if you assign a work that matches with my strength, I will do it very well and go to impact positively in my project. Then you should be able to stakeholder influence. Can you see that box is about stakeholder influence? Stakeholder that is high power and interest. What you be able to know the influence in the project, so that you know how to relate with that person. So because you can influence him or influence you, you see, they will support you, they will help you to succeed in your project. What you are doing in your project, when you are involving the stakeholder, you want them to cooperate with you and support you. And when you receive their cooperation and support, you succeed. Whenever you need any resources, even though it has not been budgeted for, they will go out of their way to make sure that they give it to you and you succeed. That is it. Engage stakeholder. Engage stakeholder by categories. You know how you can engage them. Collaborate with stakeholder. Optimize alignment between stakeholder needs. What's their need? Know their needs, know their expectation. Then what is the project objectives? Align their needs and expectation and the project objectives together. It's going to help you in your project. Build trust and influence to accomplish a project objectives. In your team member, stakeholder, and other people, build trust, get influence them. Don't understand me? And that's how you are going to have a breakthrough in your project. Evaluate and deliver project benefits and value. That's the main purpose of the project. You must deliver value. You must deliver value. You must deliver benefits. Value is a benefit. Importance of team. Reason why a project is being established is for you to deliver a value that will align with the organizational strategic objectives. You also appraise stakeholder value of value gained by the project. If you create a project, you start a project and finish a project wrongly, that means you have wasted resources, you have wasted time, you have wasted energy, you have done the wrong job. You may not be able to recover that money again. That means project has failed. So when you evaluate and deliver a project benefits and value, what are you doing? You are producing a project that deliver value to the end user, value to the organization, value to the operation, value to the organization enterprise. Then training. This one is not difficult. Everybody knows this one. If I say we should even stop here, you should know. What is the purpose of training? To facilitate knowledge, to improve skill of your team member, your stakeholder, to enhance their what? Capacity to do the work very well, to improve their performance. That's the purpose. It is when you are leading the team, you know the kind of training based on the assessment you give to them, based on the work they are doing. As a team, as a project manager, you know this person is not doing the work very well. Therefore, I can suggest training for him, I can coach him, I can mentor him. That's the purpose of this topic F. It helps you to foster a knowledge sharing culture. Because I don't know something, you coach me, you improve my skill. You understand me? Then it improve my performance in the job. Then it improve our work. Maturity in project management maturity. Then training, coaching, and mentoring are all form of knowledge sharing that advance project and organization. Yes, that is the purpose. And enhance your skill enhancement. It's able to produce a team that are united, collaborative team, knowledge transferring, knowledge sharing, knowledge culture. It's going to benefit the project and organization. That's why we are talking about in your project. When you are talking about your project management process, you say input, tools and techniques, and output. Some input can be what? Organization process asset. Knowledge you share in your organization is an asset to your organization. It will boost innovation, creativity, benefits. It will bring growth. It will increase revenue. It will increase your quality of your production. It will create a name for your organization. You understand me? It will do a lot of positive to organization. So it starts from you. Create an environment whereby knowledge, create an environment whereby knowledge will be shared. It should be a culture in your team as you are leading your team member. Team member learn from and each others. It's for everyone, including stakeholder, team member, and customer. You share. Customer can give you a feedback. Do it like this one. This is the way we say you should do it. But after some time, we discover that that's not the best way for us. They are giving you knowledge on how to innovate and be creative. So it is for everyone. When you say sharing knowledge, coaching, mentoring, training, so it's for everybody. It's for everyone, including the stakeholder, the team member, and the customer, as part of the project work and continuous improvement. Those are the areas you should expect in exam. The purpose of training and coaching and what? And mentoring is to help you to upskill you, give you a skill enhancement that will affect your project positively, that can lead to what? Continuous improvement efforts. Some project roles are dedicated to knowledge sharing. That's why I say agile coaching. A scrum master is a coach, is a mentor, is a facilitator, is a trainer. You want to impart knowledge to the team. You want to enhance the team. You want to motivate them. You want to increase their knowledge area. Why is he doing all these things? To make sure that they focus on doing the work and the activity assigned to them very well, so that that aspect will help them to be able to produce a good output or outcome, a good project deliverable, so that at the end of the day, the project will be successful and the organizational strategic objective shall be achieved. Can you see the way they flow together? So agile team,
Excuse me, sir.
yeah,
Yeah, please, before we go
not
further.
my, I'm a man.
Okay.
I'm not a woman.
You said we use expert judgment, emotional intelligence, and interpersonal skill to
Yes.
achieve what I missed the last word there before we go too far.
The expert judgment simply mean that in your team, it is not compulsory that there are some projects you do. That's why we are talking about a cross-functional team should have all the skill necessary to do the work. They don't need to go outside to go and look for somebody who will help them to solve a problem. All the T, they have a T skill and the broad skill. So that is what is used in agile methodology. The team member are cross-functional team. But when you are looking at the waterfall method, they may not have all the professional who are who have the enough skill to do the work of the project. What they do, they use expert judgment. They can call a consultant. The area where they are not too good, the consultant can come from the organization or outside the organization. So we will give them expert opinion. That expert opinion, they may pay for it, they may pay for a consultant. Do you understand me? It could be for organizational re-engineering, improve in the workflow, improve in the management that the improve in the business process. So that means they bring they will now bring an expert judgment. They will bring an expert. They will bring maybe what do you call it, business analyst, analyze their process, how that the process can be improved. That's expert judgment. What are they doing there? So they want to enrich the skill of the team so that the team will be able to do the right thing, right process, right workflow, improvement. That's what I mean. Get idea, get knowledge, which is not available to them through the expert opinion. That's what you are saying. That's what I said about that. So that kind of a thing always happen with a scrum master because it's a agile coaches. He transfer information that are necessary to allow the team member, the productive team, the production team to be able to do their work very well. I hope I answer your question. That's what I want you to know that time. So it is essential in product delivery and transition planning, which is very occur in the Scrum methodology. Scrum allow you to share knowledge because the team member are working like a family, and the Scrum master is a facilitator. He share information. He remove from the team member all the impediment, any challenges. He create an environment for them to work effectively. He serves them, he help them, he motivate them, he encourages them. All these things he's doing to help them to perform well. More so, coaching them, coach, train, and mentor them. So as a project manager, you need to coach, train, and mentor your team member. And in here, he's trying to describe to us the difference between training, coaching, and mentoring. When you say you are training your team member, you're training a stakeholder who you engage in your project work, you say learn skill for use in the present, individually or as a group. Another name you can call it upskilling. When you say go and upskill, most of the time in your organization, when you are doing your operation work, they will recommend training for you. They call it upskilling. They have assigned work to you. They want you to do the work very well. Say go and upskill. They will pay for the training for you. You go for it. It could be 1 month training, it could be 3 week training. It could be you need to go abroad and go and some university 1 year to and go and upskill in that area. You sign agreement with them. When you finish, you not just run away. It can be on any topic. That's what they call training. Learn skill for use in the present. Mark all these things down. When you say you are coaching, what does it mean? Learn how to apply new skill or improving the existing skill, existing one. That's what you are coaching. A new skill. How do you apply it? And or improve the existing one. Why does it work? It could be individual or as a group. Put learning into a practice. But when you say training, learn skill for use in the present now. Upskill. When you say mentoring, this requires somebody who is more skillful. He's your mentor. He will guide you. He's a successful person in that area. That knowledge which you want to access. He has done well in that area, is a successful person in that area. So we now mentor you. So mentor means development of personal and professional growth through long-time professional relationship. You have having relationship with somebody who is skillful, who have used a particular skill and knowledge. He is successful in that area, applying that knowledge. Then you are just entering into that. You are just entering. You are a newcomer in that trade. You now want to know who has done this kind of thing I'm doing now. I've done it successfully. Then let me engage with that person, form a relation with that person. You now put you through. You can say you cannot see the future. You are now climb the back of that person. You can see far. He has done trial and error. He has done it perfectly for you. Climb on his neck, on his back. You can see forward. You can see one. The thing you cannot see alone, he help you to see by climbing on his back. That's a scenario. It should be between a novice, can you see, and a more experienced person. It could be internal or external to project or organization. If it's external, it could be a consultant. How to acquire competencies. This is straightforward. You discover the current skill set and competencies. They identify what desired. That means your present skill and the necessary skill. There must be a gap. The gap there is that you want to close the gap. This is your skill. This is the required skill. How do you meet that required skill? That's a gap. You do what they call gap analysis. So identify the what desired. Take action. Meet unique needs. It could be topics, it could be depth, it could be schedule, it could be a format. Coach on a customer business, culture, design outcome, and project context. Encourage mentorship. It's very important. Every trade, even as a project manager, as I'm here now, I should have a mentor who will mentor me. The other thing I don't know, I need to climb their back to know more, to see far. They have seen far, but where I'm in my own placement, where I am, I can't see far. Right on their back to see the far, and see the future. Then that means I make myself strategic. It will make me to be more productive. It make me to be a good project manager. Then use and update the SIM to facilitate easier collaboration. Stakeholder engagement matrix. Plan to train. It should be part of your activities, your engagement with your stakeholder and your team member. Plan for training, coaching, and mentoring. And when you are doing that one, remember I told you that you have a present skill and the desired skill. To be able to fill the gap, you do the gap analysis. Perform gap analysis to identify required knowledge and skill and attributes. Plan for suitable diversity of training and coaching offering. It could be soft skill, interpersonal skill. They are very important. You need both soft skill and hard skill when managing your team, when you are leading the team, when you are a project manager. You also need technical skill. Maybe that the technical area of a project which may pose a problem for your team. So they need to have the technical skill training in that area. Part of a team building or functional fun or informal activities. It's part of it. To build your team, there's some different kind of team building activities. It's kind of a coaching and training. You learn from that. Scheduling training. In fact, in a project, there's a course alone, they call it scheduling. How do you schedule your project? How do you make sure that you start your project, you finish on time? You don't waste time. You meet deadline. Scheduling training, close to the time of solution implementation. Consider upskilling or certification for team member. This is what we are doing now. I don't know whether your organization is say for you to be able to manage our project. Number one, you should have the skill. Number two, you should have certification. So the same thing for your team member. Plan a training for them, upskill them, ask them to do exam to confirm their skill. Encourage value stakeholder to be